Hi guys, James here, you're watching 30 Minute Gamer. So today I'm going to be putting up a video on the PlayStation Portable, or the PSP as you may know it by. And I thought before I get into the meat of the video, I thought I'd go for a walk around this park. It's kind of close by where we live. I like to come here quite often walking around because as you see behind me it's a really pretty park, really nice and quiet. So but today we will be going through the kind of catalogue of the PSP, why I think it's still a viable system in 2017, and because it doesn't get as much love as it deserves. So I just thought I'd share my thoughts on it and why and how I'm still using it. So yeah, well, we'll go back home shortly and we'll get the system out and we'll go over it. Hi guys, so here we are, we have the PSP. So the first thing I'm going to mention, obviously in the kind of intro, I mentioned that I'm using this almost daily in 2017 and before, obviously. Now what makes that possible is this guy. So this PSP takes memory stick duos. Now these cards were pretty expensive. Not to mention the capacity was really limited. When I first got my initial PSP, must have been about 9-10 years ago, maybe even longer than that, because it was the initial launch kind of fat version. The memory stick it came with was 32 meg, and it was only designed for game saves. So the initial cards were real expensive if you were buying like a 512 meg card. And again, because the size was so small, the PSP was capable of video playback, through MP4 video, things like that. And what would happen was you would get one movie, and it would be like 300 meg, and then that was it. So not really practical for real media consumption. It'll play MP3s, things like that as well. But I saw one of these cards, and what basically it is an adapter to take the micro SD cards. So we got a 32 meg card here, and another 32 meg card in here. So basically we got 64 gigs, so 64 gig on this one card. The one in the device here, I think it's two of these, which 264s, so we got like 128 gig card inside. And if I power this on, you will see that it's just fantastic. So let me just back up here, and as we see, it's going to be so if we go into the games, we've got the activity light down here. Obviously the larger capacity cards you put in, the read speed's going to take longer because it's got more stuff to crunch through. But I don't mind waiting, so so we have a ton of games in here, and if we just scroll through, there's just so much good stuff on here. And it's basically ISO images on the memory sticks or on the SD cards, and the games just play the way they should. So if I launch, let's find something that I've been playing. Is that Outrun? No, it's Smash Court Tennis. I think we got Outrun on here, so we can launch that, which is here somewhere. There we go. So we have Outrun 2006 Coast to Coast. And one of the main benefits of using this as well is no UMD discs. The UMDs were basically miniature CDs that this would run, and there is a door here. This is where you would load the discs. Now, because it was spinning media, it was mechanically spun, the battery life on these was just awful. You would get maybe 3 hours for at the most, but it was just not really that practical. So let me just turn this down a little bit here. So It was, for me, it was ahead of its time, because now that I'm running this without the discs, I'll maybe charge this once a week, excuse me, and it just, plays everything that I want. One of the great things is I can just throw this in my backpack, take it with me, and got a whole host of games on there. The other thing, which is why it feels to me that it was ahead of its time, is once this loads back up, if we go into the video tab, I have a bunch of movies in here as well, which again, there's just a ton of movies in here, which I have more on my PC as well. So basically, I just rip my DVDs and then copy these over. So we can check out a little bit of Dr. Horrible here. So, and obviously, and we can fast forward things. So it's picture quality is fantastic on it. It's not a giant screen. And sure, I could put these on my tablet or something. But if I'm just, before when I was working away from home a bit more frequently, this was ideal just to take it with. Because, you've got so many games on there. The other thing didn't mention is emulators. If you've been watching my channel, I like a lot of older games. Now, Genesis, Super Nintendo, PC Engine, things like that. There's just so many good emulators that play on this, and they work really well. The Super Nintendo one's not perfect by any means, but if you want to play the Mega Drive or the PC Engine, even the old Spectrum, Amstrads, the Atari 2600, things like that, there is so many emulators, you'll find something that works just perfect. And again, it's a small device, doesn't take up any space in your backpack, or if you got big pockets, this will fit. So I just love the PSP, and it does, as I said, I use it daily. If I'm gonna go to my bed and just get a quick game of something, or if I want to watch a little bit of a movie. The boot time in this is so fast as well. If I I could watch movies on my laptop in bed or something, but with this, the picture quality is really good on it, and you turn it on, you go in, you click, and there you go. That's as quick as it takes, or as long as it takes to get in there. With my other devices, I don't have that kind of instant access. My tablet's probably pretty close, but navigating on this is just a dream. Other things as well, there's music. You can get your MP3s on. So if you get a little stand, there is a headphone jack in the bottom. So if you want to just put it down, put a little pair of speakers in there, then you can get some decent tunes coming through. The other thing I'm going to mention as well is you'll notice there's a little TV out symbol here. There is a cable that I have which runs a component up to the TV, so you can get a 480p signal coming out of this up to your TV. And once you just activate it on here, basically the whole GUI on here just goes up to your TV, so you can play all your games, emulators, the movies. You can watch them on the TV. Wouldn't really recommend watching the movies though, because they're formatted for this small screen, so when you blow the movies up to fit the screen, it does look grainy. It's not the best. On here they look fantastic though. But the games, there's a pretty decent sized border on the games, but it's still, if you're playing it in a 32-inch or above TV, it's gonna play and look just fine. So just again, one of the benefits on it. The camera, there is the port here for the USB. You'll notice there's a little screw mounts here. You can actually, there is cameras that they can provide for this. Probably not the best quality. I haven't tried them, but again, it's just something else where they were really thinking about expanding this device back in the day. So we got digital comics as well, which I don't have any on here, but again, it just shows that when they were designing this, they were thinking long term, and a lot of the features and things that they have on here, we've seen it go into like, mobile phones, mobile devices, things like that. So they did when they were designing it. You know, their plans were good. Has Wi-Fi as well, so you can get ad hoc Wi-Fi play. So if you get two PSPs close by, you know, with the same games, then if they support Wi-Fi play, then you know you can get two-player games going. And I've done that once or twice with the kids when we had another PSP, which is no longer with us. It broke, so we haven't replaced it yet. But this one, had this for maybe 3 or 4 years. Every time I finished playing with it, I just put it in the kind of soft case, just to keep it kind of nice and you know, looking kind of good. So it's kind of scratch free. So that's pretty much the device. One thing I will say though, I don't know if I mentioned, so if you do want to use these, you do have to go in through system settings, and then there's a format option down here. So once you format this, if you don't format it when you plug it in, it's only going to recognize one card in here. So in order for it to utilize both of them, you have to format it in the device itself. Once it is formatted, you can just connect it by USB your PC, and it will just show up as another drive, and then you can copy all your stuff over. And again, the bonus of it, when you format it in there, it creates all the folder structures and things like that. So when you're copying your movies over, if you just put them in the root of that drive, it's not going to play them. It has to be in the proper folders. So yeah, so that's the PSP. The Play Store is still active for it as well. I don't know if this connected up to my, my internet though, but I did buy a bunch of games on the PlayStation Store. So again, oh yeah, got to mention PS1 games. On the PlayStation Store, there is a ton of PS1 games which are real good, and they work real well on this device. So if you want some of your classic PS1 games on the go, they look phenomenal on this screen. And if you do want to put them out to your TV, again, you got the option there with that if you get the cables. So one last thing I'll mention just before we wrap this up. So there's the activity lights. It's just spooling up all the stuff that's in here. Yeah, the last thing I'm going to mention is this device is using custom firmware, and it's basically soft modded. So what you want to do is this Pro update, you run this, you just take the defaults and the PSP reboots. If as long as the device is on, then this update stays applied. So if I turn this off, I'll just do this in real time so you can see. So the PSP's gone off now, and if we just turn it back on, then I'll just show you how we run this, because it's super easy, and it'll show you what to look for if you ever try this, because it's you know, it's the first time I played this or ran this. I was a little bit, you know, there was a guide that was following. So again, you can see memory stick, we get 327 meg left, and all my stuff is gone. So there's nothing, it's not reading those folders on the SD cards that are in the adapter. So we just go ahead and run this, and it just launches as though it's a game that's going to run. And as it comes back up, again we've got the flashing light there because it's a larger card. So we just go ahead, take X again, and then it's just going to reboot the PSP. And this is only for the games as well. The movies are going to run regardless. They don't need any custom firmware. But again, there we go. We've still got the 327 meg available. And as we open this up here, again, it's going through, spooling everything up for us. There we go. There's all our stuff back. So, so if you do have legit games that you bought through their store, then they won't show up on here because it's the custom firmware. Or if they do show up when you try and run it, it's going to try and change the firmware. It's going to probably offer to do an update or something. So yeah. So and as you can see, some of the games I enjoy playing here. The Ys games are just phenomenal, and I think it was Ys 8 came out recently. These games are just phenomenal. I've spent a lot of time playing with those. I have them on the PC as well, so hopefully I'll get some footage put up at some point for those. Some of them I haven't played though. Star Trek Tactical Assault, heard that was really good, but again, with so many games here, it's hard to get time to play all of them. The Grand Theft Autos are real good. And Football Manager as well. It's an older one, but you know, if I want my Football Manager on the go, it's always fun to have that. The Final Fantasies, everybody's tennis and everybody's golf. Spent a lot of time on those over the last few months. Again, the pick up and play, because if you're in game, the great thing with the PSP is if I just slide that just once and then put it in the hold position, basically that just captures the state of the device and just puts it to sleep. And if we bring it back up, if the game was open, it would put us straight back in the game. So, but as you'll see, because the device wasn't off completely, when we go back in here, once it finishes populating the game list, as I said, the more game, there you go. So the game list's still there, everything's still there because the device wasn't fully powered off. And that's generally how I treat this device these days. I don't actually turn it off ever really completely, because it doesn't do any harm, it just puts it in a deep sleep. But yeah, so many of these games, they're just so much fun. The wipeouts are phenomenal on here. And yeah, Persona 3 Portable. And then we've got a lot of compilations, kind of retro style games. There's the Taito Legends, the SNK collections. I've got 2 of those on there. Sega collections, real good as well. So in each of those compilations, they have a lot of stuff on there. Other thing, just to mention before we wrap up, the PSP's region free as well. So like that one there, I don't know what that says, just something portable. So I think that was Salamander collection. But there's a few of those. I think this is the PC Engine Best Collection. Again, I've tried these games, don't know what the heck's going on, but they, you know, just make the story up in your head as you play them and you'll have a lot of fun. But the one I play the most on here is undoubtedly Pro Evolution Soccer. As you guys know from the channel, I've got weekly videos going up for Pro Evolution, following Manchester United. For this one, the one here, I just put it on, and I've got a kind of Master League just constantly playing on this, so anytime I pick up, I know I can get a competitive game going. So just love me some Pro Evolution on the go. And there's another best of collection, so we got a few of those. Again, this one, no idea what's going on with this one. But you know, when you're downloading this stuff, it's like, okay, you're gonna get some real weird stuff. But some of them look to be pretty fun. So that's the PSP. I'm still playing it pretty much daily. As I said, if the kids are hogging the TV and my computer, then I've got a lot of content on here. Especially, you know, as I was saying, the movies. Again, for stuff I don't want to watch in front of the kids, or if I'm going to bed and I'm just going to be going to sleep after a little bit, can watch some TV shows on here or watch some movies. And I mean, at the moment, that's everything I have on here. And I guess we got 40 seconds to kill, so this you may have seen this on my channel. And here it is playing on the PSP. I do use Handbrake software on the PC to convert my video files, so if you want to do that, I definitely recommend it. They update real quick and convert. So that's the PSP. Highly recommend that. You can get them real cheap, and the costs of the memory cards, because you can get the SD cards. This little adapter was I think $7 on Amazon, and already the SD cards laying around. I mean, they're not the best quality, and you can hear them kind of creaking and stuff as you move them around. So they're not the best quality, but they do the job, and I'm not taking them out constantly. Once they're in for a couple of days at a time. This one has all our kind of kids games, because my kids love playing the PSP as well, so I just loaded this card with all their games as well. And we've got another one with all the emulators. So yeah, that is the PSP. Love it to bits. I wouldn't be without it. If this one fails, I would be replacing it in a heartbeat, because it's just yeah, so many good games, and yeah, it's definitely worth a purchase. So so yeah, that's us. So I'm just going to turn this one off now, and I think we got a little video just to play us out back at the park. So yeah, we're going to go for another walk. So I'll catch you guys later. Hey guys, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I found it informative. So and as always, I had fun making it. So yeah, if you want to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, it's always appreciated. And thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next time. Bye.